everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back again to another edition of Moment with Lulu. If you're new to the channel, please do make sure you subscribe, share, like, comment so you always get notifications whenever I put up a new video. And for all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back to support my channel. I really do appreciate you. The moment you spend on this channel really does help this channel to go a long way, and I am so grateful and I'm so happy that you all support me. Thank you so much. Well, today's video is gonna be, it's a very intentional one. It's something that I've put a lot of thoughts and consideration into doing, and it's finally here. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. It has been exactly 6 years and 4 months since I moved to Canada. Woo! And it's quite a very long time, and I'm so proud of myself. I am very grateful to my parents, grateful to my loved ones, people who have been with me, friends I've made along the way, a lot of people who have been in my circle, been in my corner all this while. Like, they've all contributed to who I am today, and I am so grateful to have had all of these people in my life, and I would not trade all the experience that I've had for anything. Of course, there were good times, there were bad times, there were a lot of challenging moments, but that built me, that helped me get to where I am today. And I am super grateful to everyone, and I'm grateful to God as well. This video is just gonna be, as the title says, 6 years on this charade of life and 6 lessons that I have learned so far. I really do hope that what I share can be useful to a lot of people, in the sense that you learn a lot as you go through life. The fact that there's 6 lessons that I've learned doesn't mean that there's no more than 6 lessons. So these are probably just my major lessons that I would also tell my younger self, or to my younger siblings, or to friends. So anyways, first and foremost, the first thing on my 6 lessons is ask questions. Ask. Oh my goodness. Some will tell you, oh, don't ask everything. It's not everything you ask. It's not everything you ask. Yeah, it's not everything you ask. But for the most part, you will never find answers if you don't look for them, right? You will never find anything without putting yourself out there. So it's a matter of, are you ready to put yourself in that situation? Just go there. Just go. Just climb. Just go in. Ask. The highest thing that you might get is a negative response, and that's okay. At least you did what you thought was best in that situation, and for your own sanity and for your own learning. So look at it. It's more of the learning piece. The reason why people ask is not necessarily because I like to ask a lot. Like, I can ask questions for Africa. I didn't realize that until, some people started calling me out along the way, and that's okay. But then again, if I'm not asking, if I'm not being explained to, if there's no rationale, I don't understand. I cannot follow. It's the same. Like, people ask me stuff too, and I find it impressive that if I tell people something, especially like, well, I don't know if it's part of being a nurse kind of thing, like, you always feel the need to explain. Like, literally, I legit always feel the need to explain something to my patients. I don't mind doing it 10 million times. I would do it as long as they understand what I'm trying to say, and they're processing the information, and they're demonstrating their ability to understand. I'm fine with that. I will literally do it 20 million times, and I do not care, because I feel like I also really want to know. I'm very intentional about that. So if I'm talking to somebody, I just have a tendency to explain, or to make sure they follow up on what I'm saying. So that is the first thing. The second lesson that I have learned along the way is never make assumptions, especially based on people's like geographical locations, their race, their religion, their upbringing. Never ever make such an assumption, because the truth is that not everybody that smiles with you actually wants the best for you, or has your best interest at heart. The reason I say this is because some people might migrate from certain regions of the world, and it's okay to make friends. I mean, if people don't disappoint you in life, if people do not say negative things about you, if people do not act funny around you, what then is the essence of life? Like, you cannot go through life without having challenges, hurdles, having to deal with people. It's just impossible. You cannot eliminate or try to be like, oh, stop everyone's bad behavior. That's not your job to do it. But what I'm trying to say is that never ever make assumptions, in the sense that do not think because I am from the same country or the same race as this person, so they're automatically going to be nice to me, right? Because sometimes people who are actually like supportive of you, or who have actually got your back, are people that you least expect to. So my point is, do not make such assumptions, and be wary of people who legit are out to get you. Like, some people just want to see your downfall, and that is not even a joke. Like, they will come and smile in your face, but inside your heart it is dangerous. So you got to be very careful with that. The third lesson I've learned coming here is to do not be fooled by the Western system. Okay, so a lot of things that are in place that they make you believe that this is the way it is, or a lot of things that are shown on the media, on televisions, that this is how it is. But legitimately, realistically speaking, that is not the way it is. Especially when I've been in circles, like discussing with people, interrogating people. I don't make judgments. I judge in my head and swallow it a lot of times. But when I hear people say certain things about, like, some people have stuff that they want to trade for something better, in the sense that they think that the Western part of life is the best. Again, no side is the best. If you watch my last video, I've always been a fan of maximize your benefits. Whatever advantage you can get, whatever you can get from here, whatever you can get from here, get it, use it to your satisfaction, and, you know, have your peace of mind. So what I'm trying to say is that the system should not take the best of you. Some people might be like, oh, we get government loans, we get government grants, we get this, we get that. That could be true, but to what extent? You know, what is the price you have to pay, right? So there's a lot of things that are in place. Like I would say Canada has a working system, like so many Western societies. They have a working system, in the sense that it works. It works. If you don't pay for stuff, if you don't pay, you think you can get things on credit and just get away with it and not pay back. And then you accumulate interest until the day they're ready to take you to collections, and then you know the kind of deep trouble that you put yourself into. So my point is, do not be deceived by the offers, the whatever the system has to offer, that you know that there is always like a catch, there's always a fishy point, there's always a price to pay. You always have to use your critical thinking to, you know, walk your way around certain things and around the system. The fourth lesson I would say is, do your personal research. Do not take things as people say. It's nice to hear what others have to say, and a lot of things that I say on my channel, some of them could be outdated information, some of them could be still up to date, some of them could be information that people have never heard before, right? Or some of them could actually be legit information that people have debunked because they don't know any better, kind of thing. So my greatest advice to people is, no matter how much someone has told you about a certain circumstance, a certain situation, a certain question that you've had and you've asked and you think you've got answers to from word of mouth, I always encourage people to do their own personal research. If there is something that, you know, you really need answers to, you're the best person that can give yourself knowledge. I'm not saying you cannot get knowledge outside. Of course you can, but you also need to validate the information that you get from anywhere, because not everything that people tell you is true. That's just the reality. And sometimes you always have to check more than one source or more than two sources to make sure that you're getting an accurate information. So doing your research is super important. Don't just jump on things. Read instructions, follow instructions, like be calm, be patient to learn things. Like, it's super important. I cannot stress that enough. Like, people need to read, people need to research, people need to follow instructions to understand things. Like, it's very important. Lack of information can do a lot to somebody, and that's not what I want for my fellow individuals. The fifth lesson I would say I've come to learn in a strange way, like putting Canada and Nigeria together. I'm just of the opinion of, you know, if you're here, get everything you can possibly get. For me, I've never considered Canada my home. Should I say that? Or maybe let me say this. I've never thought of anywhere other than Nigeria as home for me. I might live here, I might work here, I may have a life here and whatnot. But personally, I have never seen anywhere else other than Nigeria as home. I'm in Canada today because I'm fortunate enough, because my parents, my father, they worked hard to get me here through God's grace and whatnot, and through people I've met. They've brought me where I am today. But I shouldn't get lost in the sense that I've had these things come to me, not so easily. But then I'm very much of the opinion that people should get all they can whenever they're in a place that's better than where they are coming from. So it's get all you can all you get. Yes, that's the phrase, that's the expression I'm looking for. Get all you can all you get. Because any place that's not your home can never be 100% guaranteed. That is one lesson I've learned, and I've taken that to heart. And of course, can all you get all you can includes looking for multiple streams of income as an individual, especially when you're a single person. Do all you can. If you can work a lot, that's fine. Keep working. Go ahead, but don't get lost in it. Make sure that you can use whatever income you get as a tool to maximize your wealth or your financial portfolio, whatever it is that you do. Lastly, the last lesson that I've learned, oh my goodness, this is something that even in my sleep that I can never ever forget. In my subconscious, it always has to be ringing, and this is: take care of your physical, mental, financial, emotional, and psychosocial health. It is so important. Like, this is something that I'm very lucky that I went into a program that did a really good job at teaching self-care, prioritizing yourself. Again, they did a very good job at teaching this, but that doesn't mean that they did a good job in practice. So knowing that I've learned these things and I've seen the benefits of these things, even though it's not put a lot in practice, that has given me a lot of insights into self-care and prioritizing myself, right? Because I always tell people, your physical self, your mental well-being is something that you're gonna take on with you forever, for life. Especially like in terms of like taking care of yourself as an individual. Like, this is a very big lesson that I've learned. When I come to work, I need to be feeling whole. Like, I need to be involved, and the only way for me to be involved and feel present is by looking after myself first, prioritizing myself, because there is no way that I can prioritize someone else if I'm a mess. It's impossible. It dawned on me that, you know, in as much as I work a lot of hours, or I'm open to working a lot of hours, I cannot neglect myself. I like my job, and because I love it so much, I need to make sure that my mind, my mental health is intact, and my body continues to work for me. Because it's a two-way thing. You have to help yourself for your body to help you. So you cannot be giving. It is something they call human giver syndrome, and it's bad. You cannot just give, and then you're just there, like you're just like, oh, I'm responsible for this person, I should take care of them. What about you? What about you as an individual? You need to prioritize yourself. If a situation calls for saying no, say no and stand your grounds. Like, sometimes I'm exhausted, even though I love what I do. Sometimes I just have to say no, because I know I will come back to this many months to come, many years to come, and I don't want a situation whereby I should have said no is what ends up ruining me. Just imagine you work overtime, and in this particular day you're so tired, and they ask you to come into work, and you say, okay, I'm gonna go, it's just one day, and your mental health is not in the best of places, right? Like, your mind is not clear enough to look after another human being. to be involved in like critical situations, like you're just not clear-headed in that area. It is wrong. It is lack of self-awareness to decide to work under such conditions where you can put another person's life in danger. So if a situation calls for you to say no, you have to assess yourself. Assess. You know your ability. People might have varying opinions. People might negate my opinion. But look at the title of this video. It is the lessons that I've learned so far in my few to not so few years of being here. And I hope this was a very informative session, and this is also an information to myself. Like, I will look back at this video in a couple years or in years or months to come, and I may realize certain things could be broader, but at this phase of my life and with my few experiences, these are the lessons that I've learned so far, and I'm grateful to have been able to pick up on these 6 things, and then hopeful for what the future has in terms of, you know, good life, challenges, hurdles, roadblocks, positives and negatives. It's part of life, and it's okay. What matters is how you deal with them. Like, it's just a matter of how do you want to complete your stress cycle. Do you want to remain stressed? Do you just want to keep going with the stress without actually addressing the root causes and whatnot? So yeah, that brings me to the end of today's video. I enjoyed, you know, filming this video. I'm really enjoying it because I'm also talking to myself. I'm also reflecting. It's a way of reflecting, just that I may be reflecting out loud in this situation. But I'm very happy that I've got to sit down and have a conversation with you all and with myself. And thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in a subsequent video. Bye for now.